Hi, how you doing? Gotta clear my throat here. Okay, I promised you a series on traveling abroad. And you can travel abroad and have a ball. You can just have a fantastic time. Here are some fundamental facts. No matter where you go in the world, if you're a tourist or just visiting, just traveling, it may be serendipitous, just do whatever. You'll find that most people around the world, even here in the United States, are very nice. They want to help. They're friendly. They're curious, and they're willing to engage you and help you out if they can. Now, of course, every country has its load of scams, and we'll do a whole segment on that. But for the most part, people everywhere have the same values as you do. They all want to be safe. They all want to be secure. They all want to earn a good living for their family. They want their children to have a good education. People are pretty much the same everywhere when it comes to the basics. Now, there are some things you can do that, will not offend, all right? That will make your visit much easier and much more fun. For instance, I always say the first thing you should do before you go to any country is research the culture. And it's so much easier today than when I was traveling. Many years ago, when I first started traveling, if I wanted to research the culture, I was writing their embassy, getting pamphlets and folders, and going to the local travel bureau and getting pamphlets and folders, going to the library, and researching the country by pulling books and books and books. It was tedious, but it was very important. Now, all you have to really do, which makes it no excuse for not doing it, is go to YouTube, and say you want to go to Japan. You can type in, how should I act in Japan? The do's and don'ts in Japan. Things you should do, things you shouldn't do in Japan. What's to see? Where's to go? Everything is so much easier online. You got all kinds of sites that'll find you the cheapest and best hotels and flights and trains, and just everything is at your fingertips in your home. Research the culture. Find out what is acceptable, what is not acceptable, and take notes. It's very important on how you're treated. You can go to some countries and just be your typical American tourist who didn't do any research at all and just going to do what they're going to do. And you'll find that people are very tolerant for the most part, unless you're really quite the offensive one. And, you can get away with a lot of stuff. But that's all you're doing. You're just getting away with it. You're really kind of spoiling it for those who did do their research and for those that are going to be tourists behind you. So be fair. Be a good tourist. If do your research, you're going to find that the people you're visiting, the country you're visiting, they can't help but like you. There are certain things you research the do's and don'ts, research the culture. When I went to France, I anticipated that perhaps I'd get invited to someone's house. So I looked up what's the appropriate thing to do if you're going to someone's house. What should you bring? Chocolates, wine, flowers, what? What is considered a good gift to take to, say, a dinner? These are very important little things. And you can just go to a blog online and get this information like lickety-split now. So no excuse for not doing your research. It's not labor intensive, and quite frankly, it can be quite entertaining watching those videos on YouTube. The other thing is you might want to learn just a few key phrases of that language. Yeah, you don't have to become proficient. You don't even have to know what is called, you reach that survival level. It's called survival language, where you just know enough just to survive like you were going to live there. No, but you should be able to say, hello, how are you, good morning, good afternoon, good night, please, thank you. I don't speak your language. Я не говорю по-русски. I do not speak Russian. No parlez-vous français, nix frickin' Deutschland. I mean, I could say that in a dozen languages because I bothered to do my research. And let me tell you, the people of that country really appreciate it. They appreciate if you understand local customs. If you're in Poland, for instance, and you're riding the local bus, which is dirt cheap, from point A to point B, you'll notice that it's very quiet. It's considered rude to talk on a bus. All right, so you don't want to, get on a bus with your friends, fellow tourists, and start laughing and joking and raising hell. That is considered a no-no. So abide by the local customs. It isn't a strenuous task. It's not laborious, okay? And the people that you are visiting, let me say, they will be most grateful. They will consider you a gentle, polite, cultured tourist. And they like people like that. So do your research, understand the culture, try to speak a little bit of the language. You don't have to be proficient, just a little bit of the language, enough to at least say hello. You might, since you're on YouTube, you research the local food, street food safe? What about the water? You can find all that out on YouTube. My Lord, go to YouTube if you're going to visit another country. And then we may take some countries by themselves. Others will be in general. But those are the first several things I think you ought to consider before you visit another country. Okay, we'll be back for more if you want more. I don't know. Leave a comment down below. And if I said something that was wrong or you wish to take issue with, leave that comment down below. I do not offend easily. Okay, thank you. Hey, by the way, kiss your wife and kids, or your husband and kids, or your wife's husband and kiss somebody.